Hey, I'm going to show you how to fade two images into each other in Affinity like this. So let's get our images. Let's just plop one down. And the other down. Now, notice over here, you've got one image on one layer, another image on another. Just choose one of them. It doesn't matter which one's on top, really. The more you do this, the more you'll sort of figure out what's best. But it doesn't really matter. Pick the top one, and then click down here to mask layer. This will add a mask here, and I can explain what that means later. But just make sure that it's selected. You see the images over here, and it highlights the whole thing in orange. But when I click on this, it's got a box around it. So select that, and then come over here to the fill tool. Now, this fill tool, it can also be used as a gradient tool. So come up here to type. Make sure this is selected over here. Go to type, and then not none or solid, but set it to linear. And maybe you might want to mess around with elliptical, radial, conical. But for now, linear is really the most basic kind of gradient. And now, you'll just click and drag your gradient. Now, for most of you, it's not going to do it all the way. It's going to be, you're still going to see the border of it. So come up here, click on the edge of this where it's gray, and set it from gray to a perfect black. And now, that should be working just fine. And if you just want it to be a normal, a standard fade, you can set it to, set this endpoint to the edge of your image. It'll lock it on green. And there you go. Now you can just make it as long as you want. Just make sure you don't, go too far so that you've got rough edges. And also, if you decide to make a diagonal, if you go too far, it'll see the edges. So just make sure you pull it in so you don't see that. And there you go. So for most of you, that can be the end of the video. But if you want to learn how this works, I do recommend it. Like, why does this work? Why did making a gradient tool do this? Why did we need to make a mask? I'll explain that right now. So, if I alt-click on the mask here, you can see we've got an image here, and it's just white or black. And if we switch in between these, alt-clicking again and again, you can sort of understand what's going on. This mask image, it's in the background, an image tied to our original image, where we say black is where the image doesn't appear, and white is where it does appear. And we fade the white where it does appear into the black where it doesn't. And then it translates that image over to this one and says, okay, wherever it's white here, appear. Wherever it's black here, don't appear. And then it fades into them. So we could technically, with this mask, as long as we have it selected, like paint black onto it, and then it'll stop appearing, because we're on the mask layer that we've selected. So, but we just painted a gradient over it, and that's why it works. So, there you go. There's there's how to fade two images into each other in Affinity.